Hello everyone, I'm Thayang and we are reading Elementary Chinese Reader 2. Before moving on to lesson 40, where we'll study advanced counting in Chinese, let us have a quick recall of Chinese counting as we did in Elementary Chinese Reader 1. So far we know that Chinese counting is different from Western counting because it has numbers specifically for 10, 100, 1000 that make Chinese counting and Chinese numbers different from Western numbers. So the general formula for a 2-digit Chinese number is A into 10 plus B. So if we have to express a number, say 94, we express it as 9 into 10 plus 4. 10 would remain in middle and the remainder would be at the right side. So this number 94 would be expressed as 9 into 10 plus 4 or Chu Shi Se, that would be 94. So this is general formula for a 2-digit number from 11 till 99. For a 3-digit number, this same formula applies, but this becomes A into 100 plus B into 10 plus C. So the final remainder is at the right side, that is C, and the first number is multiple of 100, the second number is multiple of 10, and finally the remainder that is at the right side, that is C. So formula for a 3-digit number starting from 101 to 999 is A into 100 plus B into 10 plus C. So if we have to express a number, suppose 864, we express it as 8 into 100 or 8 hundreds, 6 tens and balance 4. So that would become Pa Pai Liu Shi Se, 864. Or if we express it as a multiple of numbers, so we call it as 864 has 8 hundreds, 6 tens and 4 units. Similarly, for a 4-digit number, we have a number specific for 1000 and this formula becomes A into 1000 plus B into 100, C into 10 and remainder D. So suppose a number, for example, 5452. So this number 5452 has 5 thousands, 4 hundreds, 5 tens and the balance 2 units. And this is exactly the way it would be expressed in Chinese by putting the Chinese number with it. So this is what we have done so far in Elementary Chinese Reader 2. When we continue Chinese counting, we further have specific numbers for 10,000 and 100 million. So these two numbers, using these two numbers, we'll do further counting. However, the formula for Chinese counting remains the same. That was for a 2-digit number, 3-digit number or 4-digit number. That is to break down it into multiples of thousands, hundreds, tens or further divisions. For example, 10,000 for which we have a specific number in Chinese. For example, when we broke this number 8452, we expressed it as multiple of various numbers, 8 thousands, 4 hundreds, 5 tens and finally 2 units. And then we put the Chinese numbers and got how to say this number in Chinese. So let us read sentences from the box and see how advanced counting, number counting is done in Chinese. Let us start with the sentences in the box. Let us read the first sentence. 哪个国家的面积? 面积 is area. 哪个国家 that country's 面积 area. 有 have. 53 53. 1 is the number for 10,000. So 53 is 53 and 1 10,000. So 53 10,000s. So multiply 53 with 10,000. That becomes 5,30,000. Ping pong gong li. Gong li is kilometer. Ping pong is square kilometer. So the area of that country is 5,30,000 square kilometers. So you see that when we did a bigger number, we again expressed it as a multiple. So had it been a number, for example, 534 kilometers, 534 ones, so that would have been 53 1 and 4 thousands. Ping pong gong li, square kilometers. Moving on to the second sentence in the box, let us read out the sentence. 我们学校的女生 are school's female students. 真 compose or comprise. 三反是一 三反是一 三 is 3. 反是 this is a standard way of expressing fractions. 什么什么反是什么什么 So the number that appears before 反是 that is the denominator, and the number that appears after 反是 is the numerator. So 三反是一 is 1/3. So female students in our school consist or comprise 1/3 of total students, or 33%. Moving on to the substitution drills, let us read out the first sentence. 哪个国家的面积有多大? That country's area 多大 how big? So how big is the area of that country? 哪个国家的面积有53万? 53 is 53 and 1 is 10,000. Multiplying 53 with 10,000, that is 5,30,000. Ping pong gong li, square kilometers. Area of that country is 5,30,000 square kilometers. Moving on to the words in the box to make replacement, let us look at the following words. 37 2,000 37 that is 37 1 that is 10,000. Multiplying 37 with 10,000, that is 3,70,000. 2,000 2,000. So there are 37 1 or 37 10,000s and 2,000s. So that is 3,70,000 plus 2,000, or total 3,72,000 square kilometer. Moving on to the next number in the box, just read out. 1 1 is 14, 1 is 10,000. So there are 14 10,000s or 1,40,000. So the area is 1,40,000 square kilometer. 5 1 6,000. 1 is 5 10,000s or 50,000s. 6,000 6,000s. So the area or this number has 5 10,000s or 50,000s and 6,000 units. So 50,000 plus 6,000, that is 56,000 square kilometer. Moving on to the next number. 7,700 7,000 is 7,000. 700. So this number has 7,000 units and 700 units. So in total this becomes 7,000 plus 700 or 7,700. Moving on to the next substitution drill, let us read out the following sentence. 哪个国家有多少人口? 哪个国家 that country 有 have 多少 how many 人口 people or population. What is the population of that country? 哪个国家有1500万? 1000 is 1,000. 500 1,500. 1 is 10,000. So we multiply 1,500 with 10,000 to get the total population. Moving on to the words in the box or numbers in the box to make substitution, let us read out the following numbers. 1000万 Now the second E is 100 million. So 1 into 100 million, E qian 1000. And finally we have to multiply this total number with 10,000 to get the final number, because 1 is at the end. So we multiply this finally with 10,000. Moving on to the next number, 2,008,1. 2,000 is 2000. Ling, that is in the middle, so we have to put a 0. Pa 8. Shre, that is 10. So pa shre becomes 80. So this becomes 208, and finally we have to multiply it with 10,000 to get the final number. 123.1. So how many 10,000s are there? There are 100. 23. 1. So these many ones or these many 10,000s are there in this number. Ling san pai. Ling, then we have to place a 0, and san pai 300. So finally we have to add 300 to this number to get finally the final number. 227.1. So how many 10,000s are in this number? 200. 27. 1. So 227 ones. So we multiply 227 with 10,000 to get the first part, and for the second part we have to add the second part in this number, 3,000 or 6,000. So we multiply 227 with 10,000 and finally add 6,000 to this number to get the final number. Moving on to the next substitution drill, let us read out the following sentence. 你们学校的女生占多少? Your school's female students comprise how much or how many? 女生占1/3. 1/3 we have done. Shama shama fanzhi shama shama. So the number that comes before fanzhi, that is the denominator. The number that comes after fanzhi, that is the numerator. So this becomes 1/3. So the female students composed or comprise 1/3 of the total students. Moving on to the numbers in the box to make replacement in this sentence, let us read out the following numbers. 5/2, 2 by 5. 5/60. So whenever we use pi as a denominator, we know we are expressing it as a percentage, because percentages we get by multiplying and dividing by 100. So whenever it is the new denominator is pi or 100, we express this number as a percentage. 5/60 is 60%. 2/1, 1/2. 5/31.5. 5/1 we are expressing it as a multiple or as a percentage. 31.5. 31.5. Tian is a dot or a percentage point. 31.5%. Moving on to the next substitution drill, let us read out the following sentence. 今年的水果产量, this year's fruit output, 比去年 compared to previous year, 提高了多少? 提高了 is to increase. 多少 how much? So this year's fruit output compared to previous year increased how much? 今年的水果产量, this year's fruit output, 比去年 compared to previous year, 提高了 increased. 一倍, that is one time. Moving on to the words in the box to make replacement. 布 cloth, 肉 meat, 牛奶 milk, 面包 bread, 蔬菜 vegetable, 汽车 car. Replace these words in the above sentence to make something sentences like. So this year's car output compared to previous year increased by how much? Let us now read the text of this lesson. 学生数目. 数目 is numbers, the number of students. This is a dialogue between A and B who are discussing the number of students in a school. 这个学校有多少学生 This school has how many students? 去年有7500个学生 7000 is 7,500. So last year it had 7,500 students. 今年有8000. This year it had 8,000. 50个 ling is 0. 50. So this year it has 8,050 students. 比去年多了 compared to previous year more. 550个 500 550 So this year it has 550 more students compared to previous year. Last year it was 7,500. This year it's 8,050. 建国以前 建国 is liberation. 以前 earlier, before liberation. 这 here you have 多少学生 how many thousand students? Before liberation, this place has how many thousand students? 没有之前 not several thousands. 只有800 only 800. So there were not several thousand students, there were only 800 students before country was liberated. 现在学生的数目是 right now the number of student is 建国前的设备 It is 10 times as before the country was liberated. So right now the number of students are 8,050. Earlier it was 800 only. So right now the students are 10 times the number of students that were there before country was liberated. 现在的学生里 right now among the students 有多少是女生 What percentages is female students of the current students? 30%. That is 30%. 女生数目增加的 The number of female students increased. 比男生快 compared to male students, quite quick or fast. The number of female students, the growth in number of female students is faster as compared to male students. 1950年 that is year 1950. 男生是女生的6倍. The male students were 6 times of the female students. So in 1950 the male students were 6 times more than female students. And right now the female students are 30% or 1/3 of the total students. 现在女生快挣 So right now the female student comprise 1/3. 1/3 is 1/3. So right now the female students are about 1/3 of total students. 建国后 after the liberation of the country 这个学校 this school 一共毕业了 graduated in all or in total graduated 一共 altogether 毕业了 graduated 多少学生 how many students after liberation how many students have been graduated by this school 25000多2万 is 2 into 10,000 or 20,000 5000 is 5,000 or approximately 25,000 students had graduated from this school. 以后这个学校的以后 is later 这个学校的 this schools 学生数目还会 the number of students still will 上加吧 increase so will or is the number still increasing of the students 当然 certainly 明年 next year 要 will 上加到1万上加 increase 到1万 10,000 certainly next year the number of students of school will increase to 10,000 This was text 1 of lesson 40. Let us now move on to text 2 from lesson 40. Zhongguo, China. Zhonghua Renmin Konghe Guo. That is the official name of China, Chinese Republic, People's Republic of China. Zai Yachou Dongbu. Zai at Yachou, Asia. Dongbu. Dong is east, Bu is part. So People's Republic of China is in the eastern part of Asia. Mianchi 960多万. Mianchi is area. 900 60 to more than 10,000. So area is more or less 961 or 960 into 10,000. That is the area of China. Ping Pong Gong Li, square kilometers. Dong Shi Yo Ocean Gong Li. East and west is ocean, 5,000 Gong Li kilometer. So the area from east to west is about 5,000 kilometers. Nanpei, south to north. Chang, length. The length from south to north is ocean, Wupai, 5,500 Gong Li kilometers. So the length from south to north is 5,500 kilometers, and length from east to west is 5,000 kilometers. 中国的海岸线有 海岸线 is coastline. Now the coastline of China is 14000 Gong Li. 1 is 10,000, 4000 is 4,000 Gong Li kilometers, or 10,000 or 14,000 kilometers. 差不多 more or less 是东西 from east to west. Chengdu, the length from east to west, the Sanpei 3 times. So this is 14,000 and is nearly 3 times of length from east to west, which is 5,000. 3 times of 5,000 is 15,000, and the coastline is nearly 14,000 kilometers, which is about approximately about 3 times of the length from east to west. Changjiang 和黄河是中国的 Changjiang and Huanghe, these are the names of 2 rivers, 2 longest rivers in China. 最大的两边河, so these are 2 big rivers, biggest rivers in China. Changjiang, Chuanchang, the total length of river Changjiang you have 6,300多公里, 6,000 6,000, 300 Gong Li kilometers. So Changjiang, the length of Changjiang is about 6,300 kilometers. Huanghe Chang, the length of river Huanghe, 5,000, 5,000, 400多公里, 400 is 400, 5,400, more than 5,400 kilometers. Length of Huanghe is 5,400 kilometers, and length of Changjiang is 6,300 kilometers. 中国的首都是北京. The capital of China is Beijing. 中国的人口超过 is to exceed. 人口 is population. The population of China exceeded 1亿, that is 100 million. So 1亿 is 11 and 10 and 1 million. So this number becomes more than 1 billion. 差不多占世界, 差不多 more or less, 占 comprise of 世界 world. 人口的1/4, 1/4. So it comprises of nearly 1/4 of the total world's population. 是世界 in the world 上人口的 population wise 最多的国家, 最多 is highest or most 国家 country. So according to population, it is the most populous country in the world. 中国是一个多民族的国家。民族 is minorities. So China is a country of various ethnicities. Hanzu, the Han ethnicity. Chan, compose or comprise. 川口人口的 the whole populations. 90%. So it is percentages. 94%. Han ethnicity comprise of about 94% of China. 少民族占6%. So 少民族 is minorities, ethnic minorities. Ethnic minorities consist of about 6%. So Han ethnicity is about 94% of the total population, and ethnic minorities are about 6% of the total population of China. 中国的少数民族 the Chinese ethnic minorities 有50多个 50 is 50 多 more than. So Chinese ethnic minorities are more than 50 in number, and they comprise about 6% of the total population. 中国是发展中的国家。发展 is to develop. So China is a country that has developed amongst itself. 为了把自己的国家 for the self country, for their own country by themselves. 建设城 建设 is to construct, 城 is to turn into. So constructed and turned into. 一个现代化的社会，现代化 is modern times. 社会 is society. So they have constructed and turned it into a modern society amongst themselves. 主义，强国，强国 is a strong country. 社会主义 that is socialism. So they have constructed a country, a modern country with socialist ideology. 社会主义强国 a strong socialist country. 中国人民正在 is currently or presently. The people of China currently. 积极 actively, 努力 working hard. So presently the people of China actively and working hard. The Guangzhou is verb. So presently Chinese people are actively working hard. This was lesson 40 from Elementary Chinese Reader 2, where we learned numbers 10,000 and 100 million.